The Federal Drug Enforcement Administration says a week-long cartel crackdown led to nearly 200 arrests just in New England. The DEA says they were all members of the Sinaloa Cartel, the largest drug cartel in the world. DEA says it's cracking down on a major drug syndicate at work in New England, the Sinaloa Cartel. In the last week, agents arrested more than 171 people in New England. The DEA seized 500-plus pounds of methamphetamine, cocaine, and fentanyl. America just witnessed one of the biggest blows to the Mexican cartels in recent years. And it didn't happen on the border. It happened in New England. Federal agents seized over 500 pounds of deadly drugs, arrested 171 members of the Sinaloa cartel, and uncovered a disturbing digital network that was targeting kids through social media apps. Uber, right? Lyfts. Could be FedEx. Could be U.S. Mail. One pill directly to your front door. All done. Couple taps on your phone. This was not small-time street dealing. These were high-level cartel members operating in American communities. It led to 171 cartel member arrests. These are high-level arrests, not low-level retail distribution. Let's break it down. The massive DEA operation that struck the Sinaloa cartel in Boston's backyard. The Sinaloa cartel is known worldwide as one of the most powerful drug trafficking organizations. But this time, their reach into America's heartland faced a crushing setback. The DEA, working with federal, state, and local partners, coordinated a week-long crackdown across Massachusetts, Connecticut, and New Hampshire. The results were staggering. 71 arrests, more than 500 pounds of fentanyl, meth, and cocaine seized, and over 22,000 counterfeit pills pulled from circulation. What makes this so significant is not just the size of the bust, but the type of arrest. These were not low-level retail dealers. They were high-level operatives embedded in cartel networks. The DEA made it clear the target was not just the street sellers, but the infrastructure of the Sinaloa cartel itself. This operation dismantled supply chains that were poisoning communities across New England. Breaking it down by state, Massachusetts saw 49 arrests, with Lawrence identified as the cartel's main hub in the region. Connecticut had the largest number with 64 arrests, and New Hampshire followed with 33 arrests, including a major Franklin bust. All three states were heavily affected, showing just how deep the cartel's influence had grown. Lawrence, Massachusetts, emerged as the epicenter of the cartel's New England operations. Strategically located north of Boston, it became a distribution hub for drugs moving across the region. Agents reported that many seized fentanyl packages could be traced back to Lawrence, underscoring how the cartel built permanent infrastructure far beyond border states. But the operation revealed something even more alarming. The cartel has fully embraced modern technology. No longer dependent on street corners, they've turned smartphones into drug markets. Through social media apps, they were advertising fake pills designed to look like Adderall or Oxycontin. Payments were processed through popular apps, communication handled through encrypted messaging, and deliveries arranged as easily as ordering food or a ride. Think about that for a moment. Your teenager could order deadly pills with just a few taps on their phone. A DEA agent warned that even professionals can't tell the difference between real and counterfeit pills, whether it's an Adderall tablet or an M30 oxycodone pill. I've been working at DEA for 20 years. I cannot tell the difference between a counterfeit M30, a counterfeit Adderall pill. I cannot tell the difference between a pharmaceutical-grade pill and one that's made by the cartel. The cartel has perfected mass production of fakes, but behind the look-alike pills lies a deadly reality. According to the DEA, 5 out of 10 counterfeit pills contain more than 2 milligrams of fentanyl, enough to kill an average person. The timing is even more concerning. With students returning to schools and colleges, the cartel has been deliberately marketing counterfeit Adderall as a study aid. Young people unaware of the danger could be swallowing methamphetamine-laced or fentanyl-laced pills, believing them to be safe medication. The DEA displayed seized batches of these pills, including purple fentanyl and stamped packaging directly marked with the Sinaloa cartel's brand. This is not hidden. This is brazen. The mindset of the cartel explains their ruthless. DEA Special Agent Jared Forget stated it clearly to them. Overdose deaths are collateral damage. Profit is the only motive. If someone dies, it doesn't matter. If they survive, they may become addicted and return for more. The cartel has no regard for human life, only money. And while this operation in New England delivered a strong blow, it also highlights the scope of the challenge. The Sinaloa cartel is not confined to border towns or southern states. They operate in every U.S. state and more than 40 countries world. The DEA noted that chemicals for synthetic drugs come from China to Mexico, where they're processed into fentanyl and meth before being distributed across the globe. This shift from plant-based drugs to synthetic chemicals has made their trade even more dangerous and harder to track. The arrests in New England were part of a larger global operation. The DEA, which maintains over 300 offices in 69 countries, coordinated efforts with international partners to disrupt cartel activity world. While 71 arrests happened in New England, additional arrests occurred elsewhere as part of the same initiative. This kind of coordination is necessary because cartels today operate like multinational corporations. According to the CDC, drug overdoses are now the leading cause of death for Americans aged 18. The 22,000 counterfeit pills seized in this operation may have prevented thousands of funerals. Even DEA agents stress the danger if they themselves cannot visually tell a real pill from a fake one. That's why their message is clear. Never take a pill that wasn't prescribed directly by your doctor. The risk is simply too great. This crackdown is both a victory and a warning. Yes, New England is safer today than it was before those. But the scale of the operation also reveals how deeply cartels have embedded themselves in American communities. They are exploiting transportation systems, digital platforms, and even branding their drugs with cartel names. And they're not stopped. As Agent Forget said, this is an ongoing battle. The 71 arrests are a major disruption, but the cartel adapts quickly. They view American deaths as acceptable losses in their business model. Their presence across all U.S. states proves the fight is far from over. So what does this mean for families and communities? It means vigilance is critical. Parents need to talk to their kids about the dangers of counterfeit P. Communities need to understand that cartels are not just a border issue. They are here inside American neighborhoods, targeting young people directly, and law enforcement needs continued resources and coordination to stay ahead of these global criminal enterprise. This operation in Boston's backyard should serve as a wake-up call. The fight against cartels is not only about stopping drugs at the border. It's about dismantling their networks where they live and operate in cities, suburbs, and towns across America. And it's about recognizing that in the digital age, a deadly pill is just a click away. This DEA operation delivered a massive victory against the Sinaloa cartel, saving countless lives by seizing over 500 pounds of drugs and arresting 71 cartel members. Cartels continue adapting, using technology and social media to target young people and poison American communities. That's why it's more important than ever to stay alert, protect your families, and support the ongoing efforts of law enforcement.